according to the scripture, the creative process was not complete until Eve hit the scene. All right? Wasn't complete until Eve hit the scene. Now, I submit to you that on occasion, there is a natural inclination, there is a race inclination to suppress the feeling nature. Or, let me just say it this way, so we don't even have to make leaps. To suppress the woman. There's an inclination to suppress the woman. Now, if you tap into race consciousness, you can accept as your model and mode this same model and mode of suppression without realizing that you have, in effect, suppressed half of your ability to create. So part of why we are not able to produce is because we find ourselves accepting things and we don't even know why we're accepting them. If you don't value your feminine feeling Eve nature just as much as you value your Adam thinking, wise wisdom nature, then you limit what you can create, and your creation cannot be complete until your Adam and your Eve are working together, both in the garden. How can you get it to work if you need her? Now watch this too. Watch this. Watch this. Now, we said that Adam, or the thinking, was led by the wisdom. Is that right? Watch this. See, you can't get around the mother. You can't get around the mother. You can't get around developing your feeling nature. Adam is led, the thinking is led by the wisdom, but the wisdom is also Sophia. See, the wisdom is also partially feminine. So you have to develop yourself completely in order to be able to truly honor the powers and the abilities that you have to bring forth. If you don't, if you leave her, if you relegate her, if you relegate your feeling nature to something that does not deserve its proper place, then you don't have access to the main thing that moves your idea forward. We said that ideas were the pure impulses of spirit. We said that the thinking were the impulses of energy and information. The feeling nature is the impulse of energy and motion. So there is no move. There is no move. I don't care how good your idea is. If you don't have the feeling nature behind it, you've got no manifestation. You need the thinking and the feeling to come together. So that means you have to value all of yourself. You have to develop all of yourself. It's not just enough to read books and develop your intellect if you are emotionally crippled. Don't get quiet on me now. Don't get quiet on me. We're talking good stuff. Make sure you put it in your notes. But as I said, you don't have to smoke on it right now. Just take a little toke right now. Do not start. That's not me. That's you all. That's you all. That's not me. That's not me, Bran. Okay. Let's just keep right on moving. Oh boy, you all are too silly for me. So Eve represents also the subconscious nature, right? She represents the storehouse. In the words of Reverend Ike, though it's the feeling that gets the blessing. Right? So it's not complete. Your creation or your ability to bring forth is not complete until you develop that feeling nature. It says what the conscious mind impresses on the subconscious mind produces in experience. What produces the experience? The subconscious mind produces the experience. Now, the subconscious mind, as you've heard many times before, does not care about what you impress it with. It is subjective in its nature. It doesn't care what you feed it, right? Its job is not to determine whether or not you are serious about what you're thinking. Its job is not to try to evaluate whether or not you really want this experience. All it says is, this is what you are giving me. This is what you are sending to the storehouse. This is the request that you're putting in. Let me give it to you. That's the subconscious. If I was a subconscious nature, I would say that's what I do, right? Or to put it in a different vernacular, if I was a subconscious nature, I would say that's how I get down, right? That's what the subconscious nature says. It says that's how I get down. I just give it to you, right? I don't try to evaluate if it's good for you. You better have your intellect evaluate whether or not it's good for you. My job is to give it to you. So now, if you're getting it or not getting it, it means that you are either giving it or not giving it to your subconscious nature. And if you've had enough of it or haven't had enough of it, then that means you have to change what you give to the subconscious nature because it just produces. So you need Eve. She's not just some come with. Right? She's not just a throw in. Where we at? Mm-hmm. The balance of wisdom and love is necessary for a harmonious soul. All right, very good. So now Eve is also the love principle of the soul. So here's what we have. We have the thinking and the feeling joined, but within that we also have the wisdom and the love joined. So now, just as we said that our thinking should be directed by the intuition or the inspiration or the wisdom of spirit, so should the feeling nature be directed, not just rooted in, but directed or pulled in the love. Now, here's the beauty of it. Love is a magnet. Love is a magnet. When you get your Eve up, you strengthen your magnet. Some of what you really think you want is not coming to you because your heart is not magnetized with love. Oh, watch out now. And when we talk about love, you can't just try to love that which you want. Mm-hmm. See, because love, there is no cutoff on this idea called love. Love is the idea in divine mind of what? Universal oneness. So there is no point of demarcation wherein you can turn the love off to attract what you do want, but to not love people who don't think like you think. Love just is. And so you strengthen your magnet when you let the power of love, or Eve is bolstered through this idea called love. You have to be loving in order to experience the fullness of your God self. So what we're talking about then is you being able to express, or our being able to express, our true divinity, and our being able to live and walk and eat and breathe and share in the garden because of who we are. And when we know who we are and we function in love, that draws to us everything that we need. All of the good that we desire is already in the garden. The only thing that you are warned not to take part of is the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which we'll talk about next week. God bless you.